Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Poorly Planned Podcast. My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Here we talk about movies, TV shows, a bunch of nonsense. Freddy's freaking out. Like, change the intro. It's true anarchy today.
What's going on?
My name is Benedict. You may know me better as BHL Hudson. Did I already do that? Here with me, as always, is my friend, co-host, and I don't know how much personal information we're revealing here, how much you want to flex on everyone, but I could go...
Please, flex on me.
Could go national team trainee buddy, Frederick.
Ooh,
out here with I'll say a local Frisbee celebrity. And I'd like to stress I'm genuinely not being sarcastic, even though that's...
And I'd like to stress the local.
Even though that's the general tone of this pod, it is genuinely a very cool achievement. But yeah, we are
thank you.
in the midst of a Frisbee god, some could say.
Sir, you flatter me. So he speaks the truth. No, but it's just started training with KFK, which is one of the best teams in the world. So we've gone from being the boys who shat all over the sport on this pod, and now, as I've slowly become more of a nerd with it, now gotten onto a pretty decent team, which I'm pretty happy about to train for over the summer. So not half bad.
Not half bad at all. Yeah, as much as I love a good Freddy roast, as we've established here, for many things, whether it be the Frisbee or the anime or the general appearance or intellect or whatever. There's lots to pick from.
Smell or
or body type or whatever. Yeah, we go after it all here.
The list goes on,
But yeah, no, we have to take a step back and just say congratulations, because that is a very cool achievement.
Thank you,
and
sir.
I do think
Thank you.
The pod in our anecdotes as we have continued over the years. I feel like it has been kind of cool to follow various journeys of ours. For example, the Frisbee journey that started. The seeing movies with other people journey for me, that was a big one on my
that's a big step. Big step.
But yeah, just good stuff all around. I will say I don't know when this pod is going up exactly, so I don't know how up to date that will be. This is
I may have been very much kicked off the team by then.
You were exiled. Today is June 17th. But we're hitting a pre-recorded one because the summer's gonna be busy. I'll be out on the beach. You'll be out in Japan. It's gonna be a mad one.
Yeah, we're traveling boys.
Today we're doing a bit of a pre-recorded one, and it's gonna be, I don't know which part, but it's gonna be another Dreamworks movies episode. We had to do it.
Ooh, a classic.
We are working our way through them slowly and surely, and there are time codes down below. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna go through B movie to, let's say, Kung Fu Panda 2, maybe.
Okay.
It's about 6 or 7 movies. We're going to review them, give our thoughts / our vague recollections of what we remember from our childhoods of them. And then I'm going to hit you with some trivia. One true piece of trivia from IMDb.
Ooh, okay.
One false piece of trivia from me. I think they're all from IMDb. And you have to guess which one is which.
Okay. Always a tough...
Always a pleasure.
Tough challenge.
So yeah, time codes down below. Should be a good time. If you want to hear the other parts, you can find those on our various feeds. Should we just jump into it with what I'm gonna call? I don't want to hedge my bets here, if that's the expression, but maybe the worst Dreamworks movie, possibly.
I don't want to set the tone here, but possibly the worst movie I've ever seen.
I don't want to set the tone as a dickish and mean one, as we usually do. But B movie is some could call a turd film.
Many could call a turd film. Yeah, I won't lie. And the thing is, we've had a bit of a personal suffering because many people in our friend group love this movie. So
yes.
I
mean, there is
This says a lot about the people we associate with. I'm not a huge fan.
No, we did, on that note, this was actually the movie that inspired me, I think, to, several years ago, start working on that video about the Dreamworks movies, and still in production, by the way, still thinking of putting that out. I'm thinking I might spice in, pod clips throughout it, since we've made these pods as well. Could be a fun thing.
Ooh, nice. Could
be
very fun.
We did go to a friend's house, and we sat in her, home theater, which is a generous way of putting it, no offense, but it was just, kind of a projector. But it was nice, though. It was good.
Honestly, it was a bit of a shithole.
It was very nice. But we watched this with a bunch of friends, and it was just trash. I think that was the first time I've seen it, fully. And I know.
Oh, was it? No, I've definitely seen it before, and I didn't remember liking it that much, and then we sat down and it was just
It was
everything I would have hoped it wouldn't be.
I think we did it because of like, that was when the memes were really big, when, it's like B movie, but every time they say B, it speeds up 100% or whatever. And I mean, to be fair, there's some merit in those memes, I think. But I also think there are better memed movies. Like a lot of these DreamWorks movies, Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar, they have some meme stuff that comes from them. And those are all good movies.
They do.
And this one is just, it's too weird, which is strange to kind of say for this sort of film. But it's doing too much absurdity.
It's way too much of like a psychedelic trip you're going on. It's like,
it feels like a Seinfeld like drug trip and then wrote down, and then he's like, this is hilarious.
Seinfeld like took some mushrooms and he sat there like, oh my god, I'm a bee.
that was it.
What's the deal with bananas?
You got orange juice, you got apple juice, where's the banana juice?
Where's the bee juice?
I'd never thought of that.
I never thought of that.
But that, by the way, that was a spot on Seinfeld from both of us, I'd like to say.
By the way, hire us for any voice acting, please.
But I don't know. It's. I think it has some funny moments. It has like moments that are like the other DreamWorks movies. Like Madagascar, for example, is quite absurd, and it has kind of like some adultish jokes and whatever. And there's some moments like that, especially out of context, which I think is why the memes got so popular, where you're kind of like, what did they just say in this like fucking kids movie? Like when he goes like, and we won't be silenced by the white man or whatever in court or whatever. Like out of context, you're like, that it's like is so surprising. Like, oh well, that's kind of funny. But in the movie, it's just like that every second, and some of the jokes don't really make sense, and none of the plot makes any sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it's too much.
And Barry falls in love with a woman, and she falls in love with him. I want to say
He does. I don't. Yeah.
Barry gonna get his beehive on. Is that the expression?
Yes, I think that is the expression for this common scenario that plays out. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, as we've established, DreamWorks films have a history of strange sex scenarios that one has to imagine, like Dragon and Donkey. Yeah, but that is one of the more upsetting ones, I will admit.
Yeah, straight up bestiality.
Yeah. Yeah. Hot take, bestiality kind of upsetting?
Yeah, hot take, not really the biggest fan of Barry B.
Not totally
Barry
on.
B. Bussy.
Barry B. Bussy. Yeah, no, and I don't think the story or character arcs are very interesting, which, even the lesser of these DreamWorks movies that are still fun, like a Madagascar or an Over the Hedge, still have some kind of, decent character arc thing, and this one just really doesn't. Also, at the end, they fly a plane or some shit, and at that point, it's just so... It's somehow too stupid for an animated DreamWorks movie,
Yeah, so like they do this whole kind of save the planet. They go to court, and then they just like fly a plane with some pollen on it, and then all the flowers immediately just
yeah, something like that.
Something stupid like that. Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan. Boo movie. We've done it.
Yeah, it's our review of the B movie, Boo movie.
See, I feel like I should be around. I'm sure they still do this, but when they, they have like movie reviews in the newspaper, and it's like I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to do some pun now. Mata flop star.
Ratatouille, more like Shatatouille.
There you go, perfect. Boo movie opens in cinemas soon. I feel like I could have nailed that. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Shatatouille is pretty good. We're gonna move on to trivia. Let's see if you can do this.
Ooh.
I did do this a little while ago, so I don't remember exactly some of these, but I'm going to assume I will be able to remember which one I made up and which one was from IMDb.
Yeah.
First one. According to Jerry Seinfeld, while having lunch at Steven Spielberg's house, he first mentioned the idea for the movie as a joke, but Spielberg loved the idea.
Okay.
So it's Spielberg's fault, possibly. Or number 2.
Is Spielberg at all affiliated with this movie?
That's for you to figure out, I guess.
Okay. Weirdly mysterious.
Becomes troll under a bridge. You must solve my riddles.
Riddle me this, boy.
You're just asking a very plain yes or no question. Trivia 2. Jerry Seinfeld was $300 million in debt due to a gambling addiction, and that is why he made this movie. It grossed $294 million. So if this is true, he would still be $6 million in debt to this day. Who's to say?
Okay, but doing better.
Right. So, is it Spielberg's fault or a crippling gambling addiction's fault?
Ooh. Is this one of those double-pronged things where it's actually both of them are true?
He was at Spielberg's house to loan $300 million.
For B-movie.
Yeah, he gets out of debt and immediately puts all the money
movie's
back
got a
into
budget
B-movie.
of $300 million.
It actually has a surprising... It had like a $125 million budget or something. That's fucking absurd. For a movie that kind of looks like ass.
It kind of looks...
It's not beat around the bush here.
Boo movie, as we said.
Boo movie indeed.
Well, I'm gonna... As much as I love the thought of Seinfeld being in debt, you know...
Right. Who doesn't?
I'm gonna have to go Spielberg, which is just so weirdly upsetting.
Yeah, Spielberg. It was the Spielberg one. Seinfeld, as far as I know, is not in gambling debt. But he did mention it as a joke, and then I guess Spielberg was like, "You should do that." Again, maybe Spielberg was on the mushrooms. Who's to say? He seems like a bit of a pot enjoyer, Spielberg, doesn't he? A little bit.
He does. He seems like the kind of like distinguished gentleman who makes great movies, but then all of a sudden he'll be walking the streets naked on acid or something. You know?
Okay, well, I was thinking more just like a casual joint in the on the porch or something. But you know, if you want to go acid naked in
immediate,
the streets,
just like
that's
defamation.
Yeah, we'd like to say that's not true. Moving on to what I would call, in contrast, possibly the best DreamWorks movie. Also, I just like to point out, I am standing up for this pod, and I feel like my range of motion is allowing a lot more energy to come out of me. I'm just like
you're making me almost seasick with this. You look like you're about to
I'm bobbing and
hit
weaving.
a proper boxing stance. You can't touch him.
Kung Fu Panda. We've talked about this film many a time, but let's give it its roses once more. I did watch it recently, and an absolute, and I don't say this lightly, a 10 out of 10 movie.
I have to agree. It's just so good. The acting, the music, the animation, the plot, everything just, and the heart, everything just sticks together very, very nicely. It's so funny, and it's a good kind of like underdog story as well that you love to see.
It's a perfect kids movie. And I say that, possibly biased because it was my favorite movie as a kid, but I also think it's just remarkable that, you hear Jack Black is a panda in a Kung Fu DreamWorks movie, and it should be, more of an over-the-hedge situation, which, again, I like that movie. I don't know why I keep ragging on it, but, like, it shouldn't be... You can imagine...
But it is just so over the hedge. Yeah.
You can imagine it'd be like, kind of like what Kung Fu Panda 3 is. That's what you imagine Kung Fu Panda 1 is, like a lot of, like, he's fat jokes, and kind of like, whatever story, and...
We don't walk, we roll!
A fantastic Cranston. And to be fair, there are fat jokes, but they're all, like, funny, and they're in service to the plot. I don't want to say, like, tasteful, but, like, everything's just, like, funny and well done. And then it also, like, plays into the story, and you learn to, like, love yourself for who you are and not try to change. It has an amazing message, and also the style of it is the most surprising thing. Again... Yeah. I feel like we see it more, with like a How to Train Your Dragon or something, where DreamWorks movies, they're known to be kind of, silly, really fun, but they also, some of them have this like really epic quality to it, which again, you wouldn't expect from Kung Fu Panda, with the music and these like amazing action set pieces, Tai Lung escaping, all this kind of shit.
And the bridge scene as well with Tai Lung, also just so...
the final Shifu fight where he fucking throws a flaming knife at him and Shifu deflects it into the floor and... Man. And then even the final fight where it's a lot more silly, it's still like it still has kind of like an epic feeling, but then also it brings in the fun, Yeah,
exactly. It ties in the whole kind of thing, It's like, you're just a stupid panda, and then he's just using his own qualities to defeat him
because there is no secret ingredient.
God.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Great voice acting. David Cross makes an appearance. Jackie Chan, Seth Rogen, Lucy Liu, Angelina Jolie. The Hoffman, Dustin.
The Hoffman.
Oogway, his death is so epic, and fucking his conversation with Poe with the peach tree, like genuinely just like great lessons for kids.
Exactly, I was gonna say it's actually some pretty like wholesome and like good messages that are being brought across from Oogway, and he does, because what he's saying is true and very heartfelt and proper. Like it does just kind of add to the whole kind of. I don't know. It makes the what are you?
No, sorry. I didn't read the trivia for this one, but I did glance at the trivia for the next one, and it's just unbelievably stupid. I'm sorry.
I just saw you bopping and then suddenly start smiling.
Having a little boogie to myself over here.
You're on that. What's that like arcade thing where like you like have to dance on the floor? And
Yeah,
stuff?
Dance
like,
Dance Revolution.
Yeah, doing a cheeky dance revolution.
Can I say they have one of those in Cork, and I am the undefeated champion of it with the like 4 people that I've played with. Just saying. Cool.
That's great.
And also one of the greatest training montages. Just one.
Do you think it? Yeah, very true. Training montage, and also like the dumpling fight.
Yes, love one of those.
Big fan. Do you think if Kung Fu Panda was filmed like as Oogway was an up and comer, would it be called Kung Fu Panda?
I just want you to know the whole time he was saying that I was shaking my head. I was trying to stop that from happening. But yes, I do. Kung Fu Panda.
But now that you say it, absolutely.
Also, why would it still be called Panda at the end? Kung Fu Panda.
Listen, I did not think it through. I start really? Analyzing it.
You have a whole chart behind you. It's a pitch meeting.
It's my life's work.
It's just the title, though. There's no plot. Yes, no, I agree. Also, I will say, Mr. Ping, slight dick in this.
I love Mr. Ping.
I love him too, but rewatching it recently, he was just like, he's fun at the start or whatever, but I put on my analysis classes. But like at the end when Poe is like, I don't know, he's sad or whatever, and then his dad, he like gives him a hug and then he wraps the thing around him like, Mr. Ping, you need your support right now.
Mr. Ping, don't be doing this.
And then he kind of only comes around at the end because he's like, look, that's my son when Poe does a heroic thing, and it's like, you should love your son no matter what he does, like Oogway did. Like
Kung Fu Kway, do you not know Mr. Ping?
Anyway, but also
then Mr. Ping is the most heartfelt, sweet guy in the next movie, so it's fine.
He learns his lesson. That's
God, fair. That is, yeah. I mean, we'll get to it, but like Kung Fu Panda 2 ending,
it's a good one.
Damn, it's a heart wrencher.
Trivia time.
Please.
Number 1, according to his online diary. It's a strange thing that this man keeps one, allegedly.
Mr. Ping like a dumpling in the butt.
I would love it if the Kung Fu Panda team set up an online diary for the fictional character Mr. Ping, and it just says he likes a dumpling in the butt. It's just his fetishes. Anyway.
It's 6,000 pages long.
It's the longest document on the internet. God. It's a prequel to Kung Fu Gway?
Mr. Ping a freak?
Anyway, according to his online diary, Jackie Chan recorded his voiceovers during a single 5-hour recording session in Los Angeles. Blah, blah, blah. He also recorded his lines for the Mandarin and Cantonese version. So yeah, he has like 5 lines in the movie, and apparently he did all that for like multiple languages in 5 hours. Or, Trivia 2, Seth Rogen and Jackie Chan got into a physical altercation outside of the voiceover booth, which Seth Rogen somehow won easily, but right afterwards he himself was attacked by David Cross. I don't know, that's one I was a little bit struggling for, I'm sorry.
God, that is a deep fact you must have dug deep for us.
Took a lot of research on that one.
Imagine that. Seth Rogen's like, oh, God damn, I just beat up one of the best martial artists I know. David Cross enters.
The greatest martial artist?
I love all the like Alvin the Chipmunk things that's happening right now. Have you seen those?
I have, yeah.
Greatest villain of all time. It's David Cross in the duck mask.
Yes. Oh, man. But yeah, who's to say which is true or which is not?
Yeah, honestly, that's a 50-50. That's the audience will have to flip a coin.
Yeah, figure it out. Next up, one of my favorite titles for a film ever. I'm a big fan of a number in the title of a sequel. We recently got the trailer for Expendables, which I really enjoyed. But we have Madagascar, Escape to Africa.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of a do I dare say an underrated classic?
Do I dare say an underrated banger-rizzle?
I don't think it's as good as the first, but
I agree.
I'm a
I don't
big
think it's
fan.
far.
I think story-wise it's a little weaker. There's a whole like they're looking for water, and then there's the king thing, and then they're gonna sacrifice Melman in a volcano, and there's a little bit too much going on, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There is a lot of stuff happening. Like there's the whole like plane thing where the monkeys are doing monkey mode, and then there's Melvin's whole side plot, and then there's
Marty's
king
trying
shit.
to find himself with his pack or whatever.
Marty's like, am I white with black stripes or am I black with white stripes? Is that in that? That's in that one,
It
right?
is in that one, yeah.
Yeah, and what else goes on?
Well, there's the whole Alec Baldwin lion thing. Who's the?
There's a whole what?
Did you say the words Alec Baldwin lion? Yeah, the villainous lion who's like trying to dethrone Alex or whatever, who's voiced by Alec Baldwin. Which, to be fair, I mean, most of these plot lines I think are fine. I think it's just like it's a little too crowded, but I think it is probably just as funny as the first one. It has a lot of very enjoyable moments. I think the whole plane sequence at the start is hilarious and great.
It's very, very good. Yeah.
I actually, as a kid, I made out of paper. I made a plane like in Madagascar, Escape to Africa, and I was very proud of that.
Very nice.
Like I can just picture like a lot of the kind of visual gags and a lot of the like funny comedic timing moments. And King Julian has a lot of funny moments as well.
King Julian's always just so great.
Yeah, there's Moto Moto.
Moto Moto likes you,
which might relate to some trivia coming up. Who knows? I've always thought of you as a bit of a Moto Moto type yourself.
I appreciate that a lot.
Bit of a thick
I'll
boy.
Gladly take it. I see you as a bit of a Mort character.
Well, okay. Well,
Bet.
I was hoping to be a Melman type. I mean, I like the Melman Gloria, romance angle.
I thought you were saying, I like the Melman Glory.
I mean, that too. It's epic. As far as like a romance in a DreamWorks animated movie about animals, I mean, it's it's fun, it's cute enough. I like the Alex Marty friendship. That's always a good vibe. And also, I like that
always a great vibe.
They took it to a different environment. I do like that about the sequel, like that they did a new thing, and it's definitely a distinctively new story.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan of the old lady.
The old lady kind of cringe. I don't like how she just comes in and takes Alec Baldwin by the ear at the end and just kind of slaps him with the purse.
Yeah.
Spanks him.
Not nuts about it, but overall, a fun time. A very fun time. I enjoy a lot.
A very fun. I will say I don't love the build of Alec Baldwin's character. It kind of grossed me out. He was weirdly thick for a lion.
That is a unique complaint I've never heard before. The build. I mean, he does have a bit of like especially compared to the perfectly sculpted Alex. He does have a bit of a like sloppy body. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, like a bit of it's.
I'd like the audience to know that you did jellyfish hands as well. A sloppy body.
But like he does have like he's
it's
a
a
top
good way of
heavy
describing it.
He has like he's kind of shaped like a weird potato. You know what I mean? I get what you mean.
He's built like a jug of milk is what he's built of.
He is in the worst way possible. No, I agree. Anyway, enough about Alec Baldwin. More about his character's design. Way. Classic. Trivia. Number 1.
Oh, please.
Moto Moto means hot in Swahili. Interesting. Or number 2. The original title of this film was Madagascar, Big Trouble in Little Melman. God.
That's so stupid.
Not my finest work.
God, I love that. That's great.
Yeah, so something to consider there.
Big trouble in I don't even want to know what that means. Let's be honest here. Do you think Melman calls his penis Little Melman?
It's very possible. I genuinely thought for some reason you're going to say, let's be honest here. Do you think Melman fucks? which we could have an in-depth conversation.
We should do a whole new episode on DreamWorks characters that definitely fuck.
Tier list?
Tier list? Melman S? Well, I did not know the Moto Moto thing, because that's, I mean, it makes sense. It's pretty cool. But I'm going to have to go with Madagascar Picture.
You have been pranked. It was the Swahili one was true.
No!
So sorry.
Damn it.
Yep. Moving on. One that I think this falls into the over-the-hedge category in that most people probably think pretty mid, but because I have some childhood nostalgia, I'm a big fan. Monsters versus Aliens.
I think I'll have to agree with you. I think it is kind of under the radar, slightly mid, you could say, to the public, but it's a movie I watched a lot as a kid, and therefore I was like, oh, yes. It's
a bit of a banger, I think. Especially as a kid, what I remember liking most about it was I just thought it was like a really cool premise, like a team of monsters. You know, that's pretty cool. I remember I had the what's the name of the slimy fish man?
Missing Link.
The Missing Link. I had a McDonald's toy of him that I fucking loved. I remember weirdly thinking it was like a cool movie when I was a kid. I was like, it's a badass. They're all fighting an alien or whatever. But it's also just fun. Like it's less again, it's a little over the hedgy where it's not like Shrek sort of, quite clever and sort of it's not the most amazing jokes.
It does what you want it to.
It's pretty funny, It's like and it's a decent story with the Gigantor and whatever. She gets, sized up and her boyfriend's a dickhead or whatever. I enjoy the Seth Rogen Bob character. He's a bit of fun. It has some cool action scenes as well. Like, I like
the villain.
Yeah, they have like that bridge fight or whatever. That's pretty cool. I do also quite like the president character. I thought he was pretty funny as a kid. It's a movie I haven't seen in a very long time, or at least I don't know, a few years, maybe like 6 months. But I do remember thinking the president character was pretty funny. I think it's one of those movies. The scene where the president goes up to talk to the alien and he starts playing the keyboard and either you think that's funny or you don't. I remember I thought that was pretty funny when I was a kid, but I know some people are like,
this is hilarious.
Yeah, so I don't know. I enjoy.
I think the whole president bit is quite fun because he's very much not taken very seriously, and therefore I think it works. And the kind of the team up is just cool, and there's some good cute bonding moments, and
I low-key kind of wanted the sequel to it. I'll be honest. I wouldn't have minded.
Me too. Me neither. And I also like the general. He's quite fun.
He is fun. I will say, especially in comparison to some DreamWorks movies, and again, it's sort of the typical DreamWorks style, a little bit of an ugly movie to look at sometimes, like just like some character designs.
It is. It's not the prettiest thing.
I don't know. Yeah, they just, and I get some of them are monsters. They're supposed to be kind of ugly, but yeah, sometimes it's like it's not the like the president. It's like his face is just like
Yeah, it looks weirdly kind of like. Have you seen those like soft squish toys that you drop from a great distance and it gets like deformed?
I have like those monkey toys, yeah.
Yeah, monkey pig things. He kind of looks like he ought to be one of those, like the texture of his face, A
little bit, yeah. It looks a little bit like a caricature kind of. I don't know. It's sort of their style, but yeah. But overall,
he looks a little animated. I don't get it.
It's a bit like a DreamWorks movie character. Kind of weird.
Kind of off-putting, honestly.
But I enjoy it quite a bit. Now, trivia. This one's actually not from IMDb, and this one I've tried to make a little tricky, because it could be either of these.
I swear, this is going to be something stupid.
I should really set it up like this sometime. But I looked at the movie's cast. So, either A, trivia 1, this film contains is kind of a weird way, in terms of actors. This film contains Danny Pudi, I think is how you pronounce his last name, Donald Glover, and Alison Brie, making it a real community palooza. Or, this film contains John Krasinski, Rainn Wilson, and Ed Helms, making it a real office palooza.
Palooza? I've never heard that word before.
I think it's like a party of some sort.
Ooh, that's palooza. Very nice.
Palooza.
I'll use it.
Yo, anyone coming to my palooza this weekend? I don't think it's like a commonly used phrase.
Facebook event. Birthday palooza.
I think it's It's not even really a party. It's more like a kind of a big combination of things. I don't know how to explain the fucking word palooza.
Please come to my palooza.
There are gonna be many shenanigans.
So what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going to my boy's palooza.
Go to my boy's bachelor palooza.
Okay, so what was the first palooza?
Donald Glover, Alison Brie, and Danny Pudi from Community. Troy and Abed in the morning. Sorry, the absolute disgust in your eyes. I've never seen you want to spit at a computer more in your life.
I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, definitely Office Palooza.
Damn it, you're right. It does have
Yes.
Dwight, Jim, and Andy, which is kind of crazy.
Who does Ed Helms voice the? Who does he voice?
I actually don't remember. I only know that Rainn Wilson is the villain, but John Krasinski is Cuthbert, whoever that is, and
what the fuck? He's who?
Ed Helms is news reporter. So, great. Anyway, moving on.
Ed Helms is news reporter.
That's the subtitle of the film. This one, I think you can probably take a bit of point on, because for me, this was kind of, it was never really a childhood classic. I think it's a good movie, but I'm not really that nuts on it. But you are a huge fan of How to Train Your Dragon.
I'm a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon.
You are.
I don't know how you're not nuts about it. It's just so good. It's got everything. I don't know. First of all, the dragons, fucking dope. It's an awesome world, right?
It is.
Love it.
Burke.
Burke. Yes, Burke.
Just naming things I know from the movie. Burke.
Gave heavy The Witcher vibes there. Fuck. And I like Hiccup. Very cool main character. Very likable, relatable. Toothless, so cute, but also very cool. And yeah, just the whole kind of training in secret, and then the fact that he's actually supposed to be defeating dragons when he's actually learning to love and understand them and everything. It's just a beautiful story. And as you said before, it does have kind of an epic feel to it. So when he's flying through the sky, and the music is just incredible as well, I think. So when he's got that kind of da 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 as he's flying through the sky, me gusta.
Right. You had a lot of good points going there until you ended it with me gusta, but yeah, I mean, I'll say the test drive song we've mentioned before, but I think made it to my top 10 on my Spotify Wrapped last year. Very good.
As it should.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't disagree with anything you say. I think simply because I didn't watch it as a kid, that nostalgic love isn't there in the same way that it is for these others. But I totally agree that it is a great, especially above some of these other ones that, like Monsters vs. Aliens, that are just kind of fun kids movies. Genuinely has a really good story, really good character arcs, and emotional building and epic moments that test drive it. Come on.
It's so good. And also a part that I've focused on quite a bit, and I was it is the world dragons and stuff like that, so you're supposed to focus on it a little bit, but the whole lore of they've got the kind of folder with all the different dragon types and stuff like that. They made they published that kind of a further thing of all the pages, and I'd look at that, and I was just so intrigued. I was loving it. And then when he turns to Toothless or Nightwing, right? It's don't know, unknown size, unknown amount of kills and stuff like that. I was that is dope.
Pretty badass. Yeah, I do love those especially when you're a kid, those extended lore things that you get with those kind of things. Did you ever read the actual books? Because I have, and they're nothing like the movies. They're not. I
have never read the books.
No, I remember they're kind of fun, but I think they're a lot more kids booky. The story, I don't think is the same at all. It's more I think the first one might actually just be a guide on how to train a dragon, and that's sort of the bit. I don't know. Okay. But fun movie. Also big fan of his dad, Yoinks or whatever he's called. He's not called Yoinks, I know, but he's called something like that.
This is Hiccup, and this is his dad, Yoinks.
I don't know, what's he called? Isn't he called Stoic or something? Stoic?
I think it's Stoic. Yeah.
Strunky.
This is Hiccup and his dad's Strong.
What do you think of all the Vikings having Scottish accents except for Hiccup, who's like from Milwaukee? I don't fucking know.
I mean, I watched it mainly in Danish growing up, so it wasn't a huge issue for me. Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't matter. Who cares?
The Scottish accent is a little bit brutish, which I think is good for Vikings, so I don't think it takes that much away from it.
I agree. Also, you can say that because you're kind of like an honorary Scottish person, I guess, since you've lived there for a few years.
It's
so.
exactly.
Or
you
might get beat up at the pub you go to that I won't name, so I don't dox you. Everyone's there. I say the
everyone's
name.
There,
it's
just
hounded.
Knuckles cracking.
Reporters by the scene.
Biggest fool returns to the scene, ready to get beat up.
Learns no lessons.
Yoinks is here.
But yeah, bit of a banger.
Bit of an absolute banger. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite DreamWorks movies.
All right, trivia. Number 1. Due to popularity from this film's release, what?
I just thought back to Madagascar.
Madagascar. Due to...
Imagine the fucking confusion of like the average moviegoer. It'd be so funny. God. When you become a big time director, please just be famous for having like the most absurd ass movie titles.
I feel like I could do that. I feel like that could be my niche. I call them all Madagascar. I get fucked by copyright law. Due to popularity from this film's release, many animal shelters reported that many black cats were adopted and named Toothless. Or...
Very cute.
Very cute, if true. Trivia 2. Instead of Toothless, the dragon's name was originally going to be Dickless, but Frederick Dahlgaard sued the studio for trying to use his street/club name.
You asshole. God, imagine that. Hiccup's like, I'm going to name you Dickless.
Toothless looks genuinely scared.
God. Well, this is a tough one because I really want the cat one to be true because that's hella cute, but I know the other one's a fact.
But I did sue the studio, so.
Oh, well, that's very cute. Both of those.
Right, yeah.
Very cute.
It is, the cat one is the true one, unfortunately. I think, you know what, I think we're just going to do one more, so we'll start with Kung Fu Panda 2 next time. Big sorry.
Okay.
But we're going to wrap this
sorry.
up with a controversial one that we might have to go to battle here.
Okay.
Another one which I don't know if they actually used this in the title, which if they didn't is a big missed opportunity. It is Shrek Forever After, which of course I hope was promoted as Shrek 4.
Oh. Wait. Excuse me.
Freddy is leaving in a panic. God. Don't know what's happening. Okay, Freddy might be getting burgled at the moment. I don't know. If this is how Freddy dies while I was talking about Shrek Forever After, I'll be really upset. Oh, he's back. He is back.
I apologize.
It's all good. It's all good.
I like the unfortunate timing of Freddy's gonna die, and then I accidentally ended the call.
That's the thing. I was like, is he being? You looked so startled. I was like, is he being burgled? And then you like look to camera, just he turns off. It's like, oh no. Then, as I'm explaining Shrek 4, I'm like, well, you know, I really hope they promoted as Shrek 4, like the number 4. Meanwhile, you're getting like beaten to death.
The kidnapper looks back and is like, sees you be like, Shrek 4, you know, you get it?
Like, as in 4 the number. You're being stabbed hundreds of times.
Is it? I send over my pod recording. You just keep it in.
It's the best episode.
Billions of views. So is it Shrek 4 we're on now?
It is, yeah, because we did Shrek 3 where we disagreed, and I said it was mid as fuck, bordering on bad, and you said you were kind of a fan. And then Shrek Forever After, I think it shouldn't work as well as it does, and it's not even close to the first
Because
two.
it doesn't actually work that
But
well.
it works pretty well. As a Shrek film, I don't think it does the Shrekness great. Like, it's not, I don't remember it being super funny. Looking truly confused. I don't think it's like
As a Shrek, he doesn't do the Shrekness very well.
I don't think it's super funny, or I don't know, like, I don't remember
It's
a lot
not
of the
funny, it's not that charming. The villain's not even that good.
I think it's a much more interesting movie. I think I'll agree with you. Shrek 3 does more Shrek-ish things. Like, it does more of the self-aware jokes and whatever. But I think it's...
Well, that's what you like about Shrek.
But it's tired, and it's bad, and it's not well done. This one, they decide to go in a little bit of a
Why
new
are you talking about
direction.
your sex life?
Damn it! Foiled again? So you win every movie debate? It tried to take it in a little bit of a new direction, and in doing so, made it a slightly less Shrekky movie, but a more enjoyable film experience overall. I think it has a more interesting story. It does a little more with Shrek as a character. And I don't know, I think it has funny-ish moments. I don't know, to be perfectly honest, I don't give a fuck about Shrek 3 or 4. I don't know why I'm so fired up about this. I just think it's better, and it did it a little bit more interesting. The end, it has some fun action scenes. Craig Robinson is an ogre. Unrelated.
Completely unrelated to Shrek 4.
Just a massive insult? Dude, John Hamm is an ogre. There's a bunch of ogres and they're all famous people.
Man, you need to watch the slander right now.
I think it's...
I will say, it's a good selling point. You going, man, John Hamm is an ogre.
You're convinced?
Okay.
The argument ends?
Okay, I hear what you're saying. There's more Shrek development, right?
To Shrekament.
I see it.
That sounds like...
Shrek development.
There you go, thank you. That was much better.
Thank you, I know. If the formula is not broken, which it clearly wasn't because Shrek 3 equals banger, then why would you change it so much? Because I agree, it is less of a Shreky film. It's a completely different film. I mean, it is a different film, but like it takes it in a whole other like direction that I don't enjoy.
It's not literally the movie Shrek 3 re-released. Cringe.
My review of any movie ever was good, but it wasn't like Shrek 3.
But it wasn't literally frame for frame the film Shrek 3.
It's not a very enjoyable watch. I feel like I didn't get uneasy, but I was just sitting there like, this is not a great vibe. It's kind of like, I don't know. I just sat there, I was like, I feel kind of shitty for Shrek. What he's going through. It's not very fun. It's Rumpelstiltskin's got the most fucking annoying voice in the world. God, it just every time he's on, I'm like, shut up.
But he's a villain. He's supposed to be annoying.
Yeah, but you can be a villain and not be he's annoying. There's annoying villains, and then there's villains that are annoying. You know. And I don't know which one he falls into because I don't know which one.
I was gonna say
but...
those could definitely be interchangeable, but you're just kind of saying words. But I get the gist.
But I don't know. I didn't like him, and the whole kind of like thing that Shrek just suddenly doesn't love his life. It's just stupid. Like the whole premise of the movie that he's like, you know what? For a day, I wish I had none of this. It's like, come on.
For a day, I wish my kids were fucking dead.
Literally what he wished for. What do you have to say?
I mean, no, that I agree. If you're not on board with not doing the same old stale, broken formula again, and you're wanting,
well, it's not a stale old broken formula if it works.
And you're
Shrek 1, 2, 3, banger, banger, banger.
and you're just wanting the same thing, and you're not ready to have your tiny little pea brain blown by Shrek. If you're not ready for a new Shrek experience, then I get it, and I can agree. It is like definitely a worse vibe than the first two. But I think the third one is a worse vibe because it's just not fun. At least this one, I think it has fun action scenes. It has fun sort of new things. Anyway, we're going to keep going in circles because we're both stubborn and idiots and we cannot be convinced. I think it's okay. You think bit of a
Thing is,
stinky.
I think it's also okay, but I just think that
Fine, I think it's amazing.
Ridiculous. Fine, I think it's the best thing ever. I just think it's ridiculous to say that it's better than Shrek 3.
Well, we will inevitably be on our deathbeds still debating this for some reason for two movies
as
that neither
we're holding hands in the hospital as we die together, which I assume and hope will happen.
We're gonna
I'll lean over and whisper, "Shrek 3 goated."
And then I shit myself and die.
Your eyes bulge. You're like, "You son of a."
You got the last word. Anyway, time for trivia.
I go to hell.
That was the final straw. You were just on the brink. Now eternal damnation.
I murdered you.
All right, for trivia here, I'm doing something a little different. I have some promotional either taglines or titles of projects in the Shrek world.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me which one, like all but one, are real, and one of them I have made up.
Okay.
So I want you to decide which one I've made up. So, first of all, the poster for this movie says, "It ain't ogre till it's ogre." All right. There's also a billboard for this movie that was up that says, "What the Shrek just happened." Then there is a Shrek Christmas spin-off called Shrek the Halls, and there's another Shrek Christmas spin-off called Donkey's Christmas Shrektacular. And finally, there is a Netflix series called The Adventures of Donkules, Donk Till We Drop. So...
The Adventures of Donkules, Donk Till We Drop.
So what are we thinking of those several options?
Damn, I was like, okay, he definitely made up what the Shrek just happened.
No, you can look that up on Google. That's a real image. To be fair, can we just appreciate the horrors of the other ones actually existing? Who the fuck came up with Donkey's Christmas Shrektacular?
It ain't ogre till
That's the official poster. It ain't ogre till it's ogre. Whoever came up with that, I don't know if they should be like knighted or like thrown off a cliff. I don't know. One of the two.
Definitely knighted.
Anyway, we can leave that up to the viewers' guess, I guess, which one is real and which one is fake. But yeah.
God.
I might have made up Donk Till We Drop. Who's to say? Now, before we go to the Tom Cnews...
What does that even mean? Donk Till We Drop.
Would you like to... we should rank them real quick since this is a best and worst thing.
Ooh, yes.
And by the end of the series, we'll rank all of them. But for now, we'll rank these ones. From worst to best, I'm going to go... You know, this is a solid batch here. I'm not going to lie.
It is a solid batch.
Well, easily worst is B-movie. I am going to go Shrek Forever After. Then...
Interesting.
Monsters vs. Aliens. Then How to Train Your Dragon. Then Madagascar, Melman's Home. Whatever I said. And then...
Definitely not that.
And then number one, Kung Fu Panda, obviously. Also, I like to imagine the poster for Melman's Home is just David Schwimmer's face zoomed in really far.
He's got a slight frown.
But a devilish smirk.
Okay, I'm gonna go B movie last as well. Like I think the lower rankings are quite similar here. I'm gonna go B movie, then Shrek, then I'm gonna go Monsters vs. Aliens, and then I'm gonna then I'm gonna go Madagascar, and then I think and it's just between How to Train Your Dragon and Kung Fu Panda.
It's a tough one.
Well, I'm gonna have to say How to Train Your Dragon and then Kung Fu Panda reigns supreme.
You've made the right choice here. I'm happy.
I think so.
Well, that was a great time. We are now gonna move on to
the Tom Cnews.
All right, so since this is a pre-recorded one, we can actually get through a couple of Cnewses that we have piled up that have been sent in.
Ooh, very nice.
Today we're going to be doing one from don't know how to my voice there. From Movie Guy on the email, who says, Tom Cnews, I didn't read the rest of the article because I thought it'd be fun to guess what the advice is because it's cruise. Keep up the great pods as always. Thank you, Movie Guy. And he sent a screenshot of an article here from Screen Rant that says, in quotes, don't be safe, be ... unquote, Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible advice revealed by Dead Reckoning star. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So Haley Atwell has said that Tom Cruise, before we read the article, what do you want to guess Tom Cruise said to, I'm going to say, rumored former girlfriend Haley Atwell, don't be safe, be blank. What are we thinking?
Okay. So the first thought that's going through my head right now is don't be safe, be Melman. But
right. I think that's what was going through most people's heads.
Let me see. Don't be safe. Don't be safe. I feel like he's just like he's gonna say something like just go with the flow or something like don't be safe.
I think he'll say something like be real or something like be authentic or some shit like that. Don't be safe, be. That's it. Don't be safe, be. You know what? That would actually be kind of a hard quote. I'm not gonna lie.
Actually, that kind of goes hard. Maybe that is what he just said.
I was thinking something about safe sex or whatever, but I feel like I don't know. Are we above?
Don't be safe. Be raw dogged.
No, that's horrible. I was thinking, are we above doing this kind of thing? But then you proved that we're not.
Absolutely not. Can I just say, maybe we're looking at this as if that's like be is its own word. Maybe it's just part of a word. Maybe he says, don't be safe. Behind you.
That would be very Cruise to have a prank surprise like that. Anyway, let's see.
Don't be safe. Be Benson.
You fucking idiot. Let's see. What did she say? Blah, blah, blah. Atwell says, Tom would often say, this is so much more boring. Tom would often say,
what did he say?
Don't be safe, be competent. That was a great mantra for me. I don't know if that makes any sense either, if I'm being honest. Wouldn't being competent be
I disagree
being
with
safe?
everything Tom's just said.
I mean, I would say if you're like a competent, person building a rocket ship, you would also be safe doing that. If you're like a competent astronaut, you would do the safe things. Those aren't. I don't think those are mutually exclusive.
Maybe it's like the. Yeah, but is it maybe like the? I guess maybe he doesn't want it to look like too staged if it's like a fight scene or something. But otherwise, I can't think of.
I guess I feel like it's a narrow gray area between safe and competent. Like you have to do it well, but also do it dangerously. I guess. I don't know, Cruise.
Yeah.
You're a little strange. It's clearly not as much of a, contrast as don't be safe, be raw dogged. Again, I apologize for it. That's horrible. But anyway, we're gonna go into the comments in the last pod. Oh no, this is a pre-recorded one. We don't need to do this now. Never mind.
Oh yeah, true.
Shit. Okay, never mind. We'll okay. Sorry, my bad. We will. We'll do announcements and such with the next non-pre-recorded one. Who knows when this goes up? Who knows when this will go up? Maybe Freddy's in Japan or something. But hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment down below what you thought, how you would rank these movies, what you think of Dreamworks movies, all the stuff we talked about, what you thought of the episode. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, the Poorly Planned Podcast. Leave a nice review, a 5-star rating, all good stuff. Follow it. You can actually leave reviews on individual episodes on Spotify now. I think I just found I should include that in another pod as well.
Okay.
But you can do that.
Very cool.
You can follow me on YouTube, Instagram.
Are you having heat exhaustion?
Maybe, I don't know.
It's just sudden, oh my god. What's happening?
You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson, TikTok, BHL Hudson, Letterboxd, Real BHL Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com. All these links are down below.
You can find me on Twitter at FTK_AdultSniper. You can find me on Instagram at Fidalgard, Letterboxd, FTK_Thwilms, and on YouTube at FTK Space Gaming.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Melman.